I'm Jacquelyn Johnston. I'm the Director of Online Advising for the Office of Online and Adult Learning at Wichita State University, I also am the Liberal Arts and Sciences Online Advisor for the Office of Liberal Arts and Sciences Advising Center as well.
I know you do a lot for our LAS students, Liberal Arts and Sciences, and we have a lot of our adult learners who fall under that category. But what are some of the other advising offices around campus?
So we have Office of Visitive Advising across 7 different colleges at Wichita State. We have the College of Applied Studies, the Barton School of Business, the College of Engineering, the College of Fine Arts, the College of Health Professions, the Cohen Honors College, and the Fairmount College of Liberal Arts and Sciences.
I know when a student comes in, you're helping them with advising, you're picking out classes and everything. But what else do you do as an advisor? What can a student do to make the most of their advising appointment?
Academic advising tends to get pigeonholed as just picking out classes, and that's really only a small part of what we do. We really strive to get to know the students. I know that when I'm meeting with a new student, I actually literally have a piece of paper that I fill out with every student, talking to them about their past experiences and really helping them to identify their why they're here, what they want to accomplish, and really developing short-term and long-term goals to ultimately finish their academic journey, whether that's just finishing an associate's degree, a bachelor's degree, or even looking at graduate school as well. I always joke that my job is putting together a 1,000-piece puzzle without a picture on the box. And sometimes I've got students that started their puzzle 30 years ago and then just kind of shoved it into a corner, and it's been dusting there ever since, right? But what I'm able to do is look through transcripts, no matter how old they are, and help them figure out how we can use their past experiences, their past credits, and develop a plan, again, with short-term and long-term goals for completing their degree, figuring out together how we're going to finish that puzzle, what the picture on the box looks like for them at the end, and really help them to develop that picture. One of my favorite examples is a student that I had named Terry. Terry was one of my very first students because she was in our first semester, first year of online learning expanding to liberal arts and sciences. And Terry didn't start with us initially at Wichita State in her academic career. She actually started at Wisconsin La Crosse in the early 1980s. But she came to me when we started online learning, and she applied for the Bachelor of General Studies Sociology degree program. She's from St. Louis, Missouri.
Okay.
And she had initially she'd taken some more classes at St. Louis Community College to get back into the rhythm of the college experience. And she had approached the admissions staff at the University of Missouri about going there to finish her degree. And because she didn't have her college algebra completed, they wouldn't even talk to her. So She called me. She applied, we worked together. She actually ended up doing her college algebra at St. Louis Community College so that she could have a tutor there in her hometown with her. She completed her math at St. Louis Community College, and we got her graduated in 3 semesters at Wichita State. Her goal was to graduate before her oldest child. She had been in industry since the 1980s and experienced many instances where she was passed over for promotions that she really was the most qualified candidate, but she didn't have a bachelor's degree. So we used her previous coursework to determine that sociology would be her fastest route for a bachelor's degree. Like I said, she finished that degree in 3 semesters with Wichita State, 4.0 institutional GPA. And then she really realized that Wichita State was her home. Even though she physically lives in St. Louis, Missouri, she found a home at Wichita State, and she decided to apply to our Master's of Arts in Aging Studies online degree program, finished that program, and has been teaching at us in the Aging Studies office ever since.
So what is the number one piece of advice you give our online and adult learners?
So the biggest things that I would say are, as far as advising, you get what you put into it. Most of our advising offices do not require advising. But if you really get to know your advisor, we know the schedules better than anyone else on campus. Most people are kind of isolated to their areas. They might know what their department offers, but we might know of classes that apply to your interests that you might not even consider. If you're working in an office, you can take Introduction to Human Resources Management or Foundations of Human Resource Management as a class. I have students that are interested in becoming counselors, and we can take a look at criminal justice classes in victims and victim services with them, forensic victimology. So we know that schedule and have an idea of classes that they may never even have looked at that department to consider. The other big advice that I give students is really figure out what your why is. If you're just here to complete that degree so that you can be eligible for a promotion, that's great. Let's figure out what the fastest route is to that. If you're here because you want to change careers completely, let's figure that out together. And also what's going to work best for you. I often tell students that I'd rather you take your time and be successful in your courses than rather have to go back and pay for them again because you didn't put your all into it the first time around. So even if that means 1 or 2 classes in a semester, let's take that time to really focus on those courses, be successful in them so that you can move on. A lot of times I do see students that set an arbitrary deadline for themselves. Like Terry said, she wanted to graduate before her son, and that's a great goal. But again, what's the reasoning behind that? What's the why?
All right, well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And I know our students appreciate all you do.
Thanks, Pam.
Thank you.